The author of this book right here, Waste Away, the Chantel Ray Way, is back with us in the studio. The one and only Chantel Ray. Welcome.
How are you?
I'm assuming you're a #1 bestseller right now with this book.
It's in the top 1% of all books on Amazon, so it's really doing well.
That's incredible.
Yes,
Congratulations.
thank you.
So now let me ask you a question that I hear a lot of times from people. Let me get this microphone over here. This is a question I hear from a lot of people who are trying different ways to lose weight, and you get to that point when you are stuck in a rut, or your weight loss, at first it was okay, but now you have stalled. At this point, what do you do?
Yeah, so for me, the first thing I did is I created something called Your Self-Test. And so the first one is, it's like Y-O, like the acronym, right?
Okay,
so
sure.
Y for your is, did you follow your hunger patterns? And so what that means is, when I was interviewing all these women, I asked them, every time I said, okay, well, how many meals did you eat? And literally I had about 10% of the women said, I only eat one meal a day. That's it. They are like, I eat one large meal. I eat whatever I want. I do. It's actually, now they've called it a diet. It's called OMAD diet.
Okay.
And so it's like one large meal a day, and that's all I do. Then I asked another 10% of the women, and they said, you know what? Sometimes I eat like a small lunch, small dinner. They kind of mix it up. 10% just mixed it up.
Yeah.
Sometimes 2 times a day, sometimes 1 time a day, sometimes 3 times a day. But the majority of the women, over 70%, said, I eat 2 times a day. I eat either a medium-sized lunch and a small dinner, or I eat a small lunch and I eat a medium-sized dinner.
Okay.
And that was just consistent. It was over 70% of those people. And so you have to figure out, what do you like? Like, I like to eat bigger meals. I like to just I'm fine if I have like one like medium to large meal that I can eat whatever I want. And then that next one is kind of small. Or some days I'm happy with just eating one meal for that day. What about you? Are you...
I think I could go 2. I think I'm definitely 2. But what you mentioned earlier about one bigger than the other, for me, it's a big lunch and a small dinner.
Yeah.
It's exactly the same.
And I'm the same way, because we're both early risers. So I get up every day at around 4 a.m.
Right.
So it's funny. I said something the other day to my husband. He's like, yeah, Chantel, everyone doesn't always wake up at 4 a.m.
Right. Normal people don't. Right.
So, but yeah, for me too, because I get up so early that around lunch, I am ravenously hungry and I want to eat. So for me, I like to do that. I'd rather have a medium-sized lunch and I can have a small dinner. And if that lunch, like the other day, we went to Aldo's for lunch. It was amazing. And I ate a little bit more than I probably wanted to. But then I chose not to eat dinner because I was like, I'm not hungry. Why would I eat?
Right.
But see, the problem is everyone's like, oh, it's dinner time. I have to eat. They never pay attention to whether I'm hungry or not. It's like, oh my gosh, let's listen to my body and listen to my hunger cues. And that's what all these thin women were saying over and over again. If I'm not hungry, I don't eat. And it was like, ding, 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 ding.
Exactly. The lights turned on.
Yes.
So every different type of meal plan is reflected in this book. I mean, I'm looking at this chart for 1 time a day, 2 times a day, 3 times a day, snacks. Everything is reflected in here.
Yes.
So there's a different plan for no matter what your life, basically it works around you.
Yeah, just like, I mean, if you think about it, think about people's sleep patterns. So like, some people are morning people. They love to get up in the morning and go, go, go. Some people are like night owls. They love to stay up. So you work it around what your pattern is. So you figure out, when am I the most hungry, and fix your plan based on my hunger patterns.
So we're talking about the Your Self-Test. You said every letter stands for something. The O is the one that scares me because the O says omit alcohol.
Okay.
Please tell me you're lying about that part.
I am lying because I needed it to go with the acronym. And it's just limit the alcohol. And this is only if you're stuck in a rut, right?
Okay, right.
So like, you may have to omit alcohol if you're just like plateauing and you're doing everything else perfect, but your one hang up is you're drinking 4 glasses of wine a day.
Sure.
Well, then we need to maybe cut that, limit it or cut it back, because that does have a lot of alcohol. So what's your favorite drink? Like, what do you love to drink?
Beer. I'm a beer guy.
You're a beer guy.
Yep, a light beer guy.
And, so we do coaching. So one of the things that is a big deal for us is, if you go to chantelrayway.com/coaching, you can see our program, and it's awesome because what we can do is we'll text you every single day to hold you accountable. You'll have a 30-minute call. It's amazing. And we're seeing amazing results from it. But one of the things we're seeing as we're coaching people, it's funny, the guys who are drinking beer are still having great success.
Right.
The people who are drinking wine in limited amounts are having success. The ones who are really into these sugary drinks, like, they're like, they love margaritas or they love like Long Island iced tea or whatever. What we're saying is, hey, you might not need to omit the alcohol, but you might need to tweak it. Meaning, so like my favorite drink, it's kind of obnoxious when I go to a restaurant. I'm like, yes, I like Tito's vodka. I'll say I want Tito's vodka with soda water, not tonic. Because tonic has sugar. So I'll do a soda water. I do 5 lemons, 5 limes squeezed and then removed out of the glass. And then a small mini splash. You have to say mini splash of cranberry juice.
Wow. I would not want to be your bartender.
Oh, gosh.
It's a complicated order.
So, but bottom line is, what am I drinking? I'm drinking lemon water, basically, and Tito's. So that's what I'm saying. You've either got to either admit it, or you have to limit it, or we have to tweak it. So we have to see where you're at. And again, with the coaching, we'll figure it out. But really the omit is only for, if you're out of control with it,
That makes me feel a lot better. Now I don't understand at all. Use a binge saver.
Yes.
Is this something like a coupon I use when I go to the grocery store? Is that what a binge saver is?
So what a binge saver is like, let's say that you've decided that you want to just do one meal that day. Let's just say you're like, you know what? I'm going to a huge party. I want to really indulge. I want to have like just everything I could want.
Right.
Or like, so what you want to do is, let's say you're used to eating 2 meals a day. So you'd want to just have a binge saver, or what that is like a high protein snack that's really small. So like, let's say you said, I'm going to have like 10 almonds, or I'm going to have some celery with peanut butter, or just something that's high protein that is definitely it'll just calm you down so that when you actually do eat, you are not going to be hamster hungry, which brings it to the next point, which is
real hunger. And
did you have real hunger?
Here it is, hamster hungry. This is one of my favorite phrases in the book. And no, in case you're wondering, it's not when you're so hungry you would eat a hamster.
Actually, it is.
Okay. Oh, I guess it would.
No, it isn't. It isn't. It's close though.
Yeah.
So where it came from is, I had a friend when I was like in high school who got a hamster for a gift, and she added this hamster, and her family went on a week vacation. And what happened was, one of the hamsters got pregnant, and the hamster got so hungry because she didn't leave any food while they went on vacation that the babies died, and the hamster ate the babies. I know that's really disgusting. I don't even like telling that story, but it's kind of powerful because people kind of go, oh my gosh, I'm hamster hungry.
Right.
We've kind of got it as a joke now. So there's different levels. So like, what I suggest is you don't wait until you're hamster hungry. Or once you do get hamster hungry, use that binge saver and then give yourself 30 minutes and then eat your meal, right?
Okay.
Because now you've calmed yourself down. You've had those 10 almonds. You know, you're not just so crazy. So now when you actually sit down to eat your meal, you're not ravenous. And almost all of those people kind of did use, those thin eaters, use that binge saver.
Okay. Now the S stands for slow down, and this is where the 20-minute rule comes into play.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's my hardest problem. Do you eat fast or slow?
I eat very slow.
You
very
do?
slow. I'm always the last person eating.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
I'm so jealous.
Yeah, I am the last person eating every time. But
that's so
and I grew
good.
up in a big family, so if you're the last one eating, you didn't get as much food as everybody else.
Wow.
So, yeah.
So why do you think you are a slow eater? Like, where did that come from?
I talk a lot.
Oh,
so
good.
I end up talking at meals a lot, and when that happens, I'm not eating. So I am always the most.
But what about when you're by yourself?
Probably a lot faster, probably a lot faster.
Yeah.
But also, I like to do something else while I'm eating, whether it's checking emails or whether it's, checking a news story or something like that.
So like you'll take a bite,
Yep.
take a break. That
Yep.
is awesome. So that you've got that mark checked. that is out of everything that you'll read in my book. I feel like I've really got all of it down,
right?
Except one thing, and I still am an extremely fast eater. You know me; I do everything fast. I walk fast, talk fast. Right. Everything is fast.
Right.
So it's just like that one. I don't have it totally nipped in the bud. But one of the tricks I say is that you could set a timer like on your phone, just on your iPhone. Go for 8 minutes, and then you'll take 4 minutes of a break. So like you literally just kind of say, okay, I'm going to put this aside.
Right.
And then they eat another 8 minutes. So like you'll get to see videos when you do our coaching and join our Inner Circle Facebook group. You'll see videos. I've literally videoed these thin eaters.
Yeah.
And it literally went like this. And I'm like, okay, go ahead and eat.
Yeah.
Stuck a video camera. My friends are so kind. But anyway, so like what I'd hear all the time is like the waitress would come and they might have been like partially done with their food. She's like, can I take that away from you? They'd be like, I'm still deciding how much more I want.
Right.
Right? What did they do? They just took a break for a few minutes to figure out, am I done? Am I full or am I not? So this is what I'm saying. I've done all the work for you. I've gone and interviewed all these thousands of women so you don't have to. I have it on video so you can watch it.
Okay.
And watch how they eat, what they do, and I give you all these secrets. Do you see why it's not just the intermittent fasting? There's so much more to it.
And it sounds like you get an incredible amount of support as well.
Yes.
I mean, with phone calls and I mean, you doing all the research for everybody ahead of time. Now the E, eat past 4.
Right. So back to that hunger scale, grab that book.
Okay.
So on the hunger scale, a 4 is satisfied. Okay. A 5 is your Thanksgiving Day full. So you're extremely full at a level 5. And you don't even want to get to these thin eaters. They don't even get to a 4.1. Do you see what I'm saying?
Sure.
When they are satisfied, they actually stop eating. If you notice, they stop eating at about a 3.8. And so I talk about that in my book because they know it's in another 10 minutes, I'll get to a 4.
Right.
But see, the person who's always struggled with their weight, they're scarf. What I used to do is I used to scarf down my food.
Right.
So fast. And then I would get to a 4, but then I'd wait 20 minutes and now I was at a level 5.
Yeah.
And so I teach you how to learn how to stop eating at that 3.8.
Okay. Now the L, look at labels. This is something I never do.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So like, I want you to look at some of those drinks that you're drinking. I mean, the thing is that, you know, I've seen so many, I mean, you know, the rate of cancer and all this brain tumors and stuff going on. And like one of the things I say to my son, I kind of have this joke around the house. It's called Chemical City. I'm like, don't eat that. That's Chemical City. Don't eat that. That's Chemical City.
Right.
But if you start really reading those labels, your body cannot process all of this junk that you're feeding it. So don't get me wrong. When I want to eat a brownie, I eat a brownie.
Sure.
I never, ever deprive myself because I've learned when I deprive, I end up in a binge.
Okay.
So you're going to see you can eat what you want, but I really limit that on what I'm doing.
So the Your Self Test is what we're going through. You can read all about it. This book, Waste Away, the Chantel Ray Way, the first edition. Okay.
Yes, another edition's coming out.
Another edition's coming. We're up to letter F, which is food diary. Now I've heard of plans where you keep a food diary.
Yeah, and I only suggest doing that food diary when you're in a rut. So like we say in the beginning, you don't need to do it. Once you go, okay, now I have a lot of women who go, I've lost 30 pounds and now I'm stuck.
Yeah.
I can't move past. Like they didn't keep a food diary when they lost their first 30.
Right.
Now they're in a lull. And now I'm saying, okay, now let's go ahead and see what you're doing. Because a lot of times once we see this food diary and when we're looking with the coach, what we do, it's so cool and it's so easy when you work with us. When you work with us on our coaching program, all you do is you snap a picture before you ate and after you ate. You text it to my coach and boom, we'll evaluate for you. What am I eating? You know what I mean? Because sometimes we're like, we looked at one lady and like avocados are super good for you, right? Like we're a big fan of avocados, but we were noticing this girl was eating like 3 avocados in a day. Well, guess what? That's just too much.
Yeah.
Go ahead and eat your avocado, but we need to limit that to half an avocado a day or one avocado a day at the most.
Right.
3 avocados, but we'll find that out.
You hear it's
she wasn't even
superfood.
noticing it.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Superfood. And she was really
So you
doing
eat
it
a
up.
lot of it, I guess. So we're up to the test part of the yourself test. The letter T, take a walk. Self-explanatory, I think, right?
I mean, I will tell you, as we've been coaching these people, one of the things that we've been noticing that is a massive, massive difference is they're walking.
Okay.
And they are walking 45 minutes. What do you do for working out?
I'm at the gym 3 times a week. I do a 30-minute session of cardio, and then I do about 45 minutes of different weightlifting. Sometimes upper body, sometimes abs, that kind of thing. But I always do the cardio every time I go.
Yeah. And so what we've found is people who go out for a walk for 45 minutes to an hour a day, because for me even, I went into a little bit of a rut, but I was working out at the gym every day.
Yeah.
But then what I added at night was a 30-minute to a 45-minute walk, which is great. I mean, the weather's beautiful out now.
Yeah.
Take your family. And that really kind of pushed me to the next level when I did
this
that.
Makes sense for me because my physician will tell me, it's great that you're going to the gym 3 times a week. I wish you were going for 20 minutes every day rather than 3 times a week.
Just keep doing what you're doing and then just add.
Yeah.
At night, do you have a dog or anything?
I have a 2-year-old, so I'm running around the house, outside.
But that'd be great to take her to let her get some of that energy out.
Yeah.
Take her for a walk around the neighborhood. Add that in.
Okay. Now we're up to the letter E, enough protein. And I know the importance of protein.
Yeah, and I'm a carb girl. I love carbs. But one of the things once we're checking you, again, a lot of these we don't even talk about doing at all until they get to that plateau. Because it's like all these thin eaters, they were making sure they got some protein in at each meal, but they weren't counting their protein grams and carbs grams. They're not doing that.
Sure.
But we will in your coaching program just kind of look at those pictures and go, where's your protein? Sometimes we'll see people and they're not. I mean, they're just carb.
Right.
And so we do want to say, hey, let's get some of that protein in.
Now, outside of the O, which as we remember was omit alcohol, but it sort of, not really. This next letter scares me the most. The S, the second S, sugar moderation.
Yeah. So there's a verse in the Bible that I love. It says this. It says, do you like honey? Don't eat too much or it will make you sick. I mean, that's the verse right there. And it's like, unfortunately, I love sugar. I eat sugar, but you have to do it in moderation because if you don't, you get on these waves where you're eating too much sugar and then you're crashing.
Yep.
So we just look at that. And I take, like I said, if I want a brownie, I take a couple bites and I put it away. But I definitely have to see how much sugar. People don't realize, even things like ketchup. Ketchup has so much sugar in it.
Yeah.
Do I have ketchup? Yes. Do I have my husband? Do you like eggs on ketchup?
I do.
Or do you like ketchup on your eggs?
Ketchup on eggs. Yep.
He'll literally you can't even see the eggs when he's done with it.
Well, I learned this year, with having a 2-year-old in the house and my wife, who's very conscious of what we put in her body.
Yes.
I was drinking a glass of orange juice and I let her have some. And she said, don't give her that juice. She can drink her water. And I said, it's just juice. It's vitamin C. It's good for her. And she looked at me. She said, that cup is full of sugar. That's what your orange juice is. It's all sugar.
That brings me up to a really good point. So the other day, if I'm going to have orange juice, I'll have it. But you know what I'll do? I'll take an orange, I'll slice it in half, and I have a juicer, an orange juicer, and I put it in. 1 orange gets me about 2 ounces of juice. So if you think about these people who are drinking a 16 ounces of juice, that means in one sitting they're eating 8 oranges. That's ludicrous that you're doing that much juice. So, it's just a big deal.
It's moderation, like you said. And then the last T, 24-hour power fast.
Yes.
Which means what?
Okay, so it's not as bad as you think. So what it kind of goes to, let's say you ate lunch at 1 o'clock, right? You would wait 24 hours. So you would just basically not eat dinner that night, and now you eat lunch again the next day.
Okay.
But if you do that 2 times a week, you will see massive, massive results. I'm hoping that you're going to try it, and then you're going to be like, oh my gosh. I mean, you look great. You don't really need to
try
lose
anything, though, because I'm exactly where a lot of people who need to read this book are at. I'm exactly what you said as far as losing weight and then you hit a wall. That's exactly where I am right now. I did lose weight at the beginning. Now I'm at that wall.
Yeah.
Now I'm kind of like in a rut. Just
And
like
I will
you
tell
said.
you, it's the other part of it too is that, you know, it heals your body. So like when people don't realize how much time the digestion process takes. And so literally you are spending so much of your energy digesting your food. That's why I hate those plans that are like eat 2 hours every 2 hours.
Yeah.
But your body, it takes so much of your body's energy. When you're fasting, it can then heal all. Perfect example, in my knee, I had like all this fluid buildup all the time in my knees and just joint pain and all this other stuff. Through fasting, I don't have any joint pain anymore except for when I go to the gym and work out really hard that
Push it
day.
a little too
But
hard.
I'm saying I've had struggles with rheumatoid arthritis. My rheumatoid arthritis is gone. So just other issues, all from the benefits of fasting. If you just Google benefits of fasting, it's drastic amounts of studies that have been done of how much it heals your body.
So this is all part of the yourself test. We went through a lot of facts. We went through a lot of letters. You're not going to remember everything. That's why you have this, okay? Waste Away, the Chantel Ray Way. This is the first edition, but there will be another one. If you need this, and trust me, you need this, you can get it at chantelrayway.com. Thanks for coming in.
And don't forget about the coaching, because a lot of times people will read that book and then they just like read it and then they forget it. And we also have a podcast that we have, a free podcast that you can listen to. If you go to Waste Away through intermittent fasting and listen to that podcast all the time, every day, every week, however you want to do it, but it'll give you that additional support. And we answer listeners' questions. So if you have a question, we answer those questions, all the questions you can think of. We answer them live on this podcast.
I would like to do a session with you where we actually answer questions from people like that.
It.
So when you decide to come back to us, let's do that.
Yes, I'd love to.
In the meantime, like we said, here it is, Waste Away, chantelrayway.com.